Yeah, this doesn't, like, they have tons and tons of other pixel things which just don't make any real sense. It's all like depth fade and shit like that instead of like what I want is just, you know, actually, you know, Z-buffer culling shit. Well, then what I guess what we need is we need this render target to be rendered to twice? Or no, we need another render target? Son of a bitch. So we need another render target which has a custom near and far clip and all that sort of crap. So we need two cameras. Well, that totally screws up anything that we have that's in between, that's a 3D object in between these two cameramen and maxes. I can do this in other engines. I can do this in other things where I have access to pixel shaders. I can just say, like, when we do this combine here, during the render pass, I can just set the Z value in the Z buffer and just fucking make this work. And write the math to the vertex, to the pixel coordinates in the pixel shader, and then just have it work. And like, what the fuck? Why can't I don't see anything like that? I mean, it's probably here, and I just need to know what the hell it is. But then I need like access to the screen shader. None of this looks anywhere near correct. There's nothing here for it. Custom pixel depth. These things are not fucking helpful. A custom depth does not work with translucent materials. This doesn't look like any of this crap works whatsoever with what I want. I mean, is this thing translucent? Doesn't look like it's translucent. Yeah, we don't have any opacity. The surface is blend mode is opaque. And if we set translucent, we have an actual opacity for this thing. If we don't, yeah. I think what we have to do is have some sort of post-process effect combine these things together. But how in the fuck do we do that? Like, we need to render this stuff, this information to the screen. And we can't do that if it's being fricking occluded. I mean, we'd basically have to put it in front of our camera. And then we'd have to do our test there with like a per pixel sort of thing. But that would mean we'd have to change the material for it's just, yeah, like this is just all sorts of screwed up. I don't think we can do it. Yeah, I can actually run that camera as perspective, and the thing is, we don't have any sort of freaking control over it. I mean, you can see that, you know, like the 2D stuff is now, you know, super small, of course. And as you like move away, you know, those 2D objects, I mean, it's a much different looking thing, but the main thing is that these pillars and everything else that's supposed to be actually have depth is just going to look like complete shit. Like, basically, we'd have to have 3D terrain in there for it to work properly. So all the pieces of terrain need real 3 dimensions, and it's just not going to work, I don't think. And if we even zoom it in, I don't know. I don't think that's going to work too well. We'll take a look at it, but it's... I mean, I think we'd have to billboard everything if we did it that way, and it just doesn't seem like that's the way to go. Like, if it's 2D, it needs to be orthographic so that we can make sure that stuff actually looks a certain way, I'm pretty sure. Because try making like a 2D pillar there, you know, a 2D piece of geometry to jump on. Like, it's just not going to work. You have to make everything in 3D for it to work for all the obstacles now. Like, we have to have all the rocks nicely in 3 dimensions and all that. And if we throw a bunch of fat sacks in here, You can see that, you know, like shadows now just look all sorts of weird with them. We'd have to have drop shadows. Everything else looking real good. I think the platforming also becomes more difficult to judge the distance. There's a lot of little things that just don't look right. I mean, there is also the argument that the 3D objects are doing the orthographic projection for the actual main camera is just cheapening it. Like, we're gonna have to have shadows and the rest there anyway, or something like that. So you know, maybe there isn't a difference. But I think as soon as you do that, then like we absolutely have to have 3D objects for everything, and like that's gonna take a whole hell of a lot of work. So I don't think that's gonna work. And that's kind of what we want for an object that goes all the way through the entire scene. But if it was just depth sorted properly with the combine, then we'd be able to do something with it. So we need custom depth. We just need this fucking custom depth to work properly, and like we're good. Well, I'm gonna take a quick bio break and I'll be back. So again, we basically got to go back to Google, and it's like custom per pixel depth Unreal 4. Nice. God, none of this music is like gelling with me at all right now.
Hey guys, I'm Tesla and I'm back with a really quick tutorial. I'm going to come to example content
hell is this? This is just...
Now we're going to grab a project now, so just right click, migrate, and just direct it to the content folder of your project. And once you've got that imported, we're going to come to the example content, blueprint communication, materials, and you can see it's there. So with this, we're going to search for the global post-process volume in the scene outliner. If you haven't got a post-process volume, just add one in and make sure it covers the map. And we're going to select that and scroll down till you find the miscellaneous tab, and you'll find blendables. So we're going to add one here and make sure it's set to that highlight. Now we're going to grab a door from the props and make it look like we can interact with it when we get close to it. So if it's selected, I'm going to come into the level blueprint, I'm going to right click and type in get distance to, and I'm also going to get the player character.
No worries, this is just inside of a blueprint.
I'm going to get the mesh and we'll check it. So I'm also going to duplicate this and uncheck it so it goes away when we move it away. And we're just going to grab a tick to fire this off.
I mean, but this is setting custom depth for an entire mesh component.
Okay, so that's what it looks like. So if we jump in the game now,
Get this crap off of here. Primitive component set render custom depth, but the custom depth doesn't do what I want. Things don't have what I want. What the hell was that? Well, that is weird as all hell. Is it actually doing like the custom depth pass? And then immediately getting messed up? Alright, well, I think I'm gonna take a short break and try to figure all this crap out off camera. At least some basic stuff, because, not too much going on. So, I will see you guys later. I also need to go shop. So, thank you for watching. I will be back in some time.